Hey, Dan Meyer here, and I am back again with part two of mastering narratives for your clients. So, talking about how a virtual assistant can help help a client's business grow by understanding how to use a narrative approach to storytelling about the client's business. So, we've been talking about how to understand business narratives and craft effective narratives. And today I'll share some more tips with you about how to manage and share these narratives as well as how to measure what's working. Really, the key to selling anything right now is connecting, is building likability and trust with your audience and getting them to understand why you are the right person or why your client is the right person to do business with. So here's part two. I'll be back again after for a quick wrap up. So choosing the right platforms, right? So I mentioned this a minute ago. I'll just kind of recap it. Identifying where the client's target audience is. A client should know who their target audience is. My target audience for American small business clients are business coaches, network marketers, direct sellers, people that have an e-commerce business where they're trying to grow it from just working by themselves to scaling the business to having a team. That's my target market. They're mostly women, they're mostly middle-aged, and they're pretty much all American. So I don't waste my time chasing leads in other areas. I know where to focus. We mine other leads from our target market. We pirate their traffic. We do things which I've recorded videos for, and you can check out my YouTube, how to really kind of like take advantage of the fact that when you know who your target market is, keep finding more of them. Because it's better to keep finding more people like your best clients than to try to bring on board clients that have nothing in common with the clients you're already working with. So you tailor the narrative for different platforms, right? It's like short for Instagram, detail for LinkedIn. Um, ensure the narrative is consistent across all channels, right? So you want to have the same branding, you want to have the same look and feel. You can make it a little more formal on LinkedIn, a little less formal on TikTok. You can make things a little more fun on IG. But for the most part, you want to look and feel the same. If you look at Sonic VA, you look at any of our social media, you're going to see it's consistent. Same brand. It's all about my face, talking about what we do to help small businesses in the US connect with Filipino virtual assistants. It's very consistent. And that's because it works. I've been doing this for, like I said, over 12 years. I've got a pretty good team, a pretty happy team, very low turnover team. And I'm proud of that. So scheduling automation. Okay, you should know tools to help schedule things. Like as for any virtual assistant, should at least have a general knowledge of Buffer and Hootsuite. You should understand how to do a content calendar, right? So how to plan out 3 days of content. You should know that on Instagram, it's better to do live content, but on Facebook, you can plan it out, especially for the Facebook business page. You can map out 30 days of things to drop on the first day of the month. If you're using Hootsuite or Buffer, you can map things out for weeks on time. But also know things like if you're using Hootsuite or Buffer, it will get suppressed, right? So Facebook pushes up things that were posted on Facebook originally versus things that are pushed to Facebook from a third party. So the algorithm will actually push that down. So I'm actually suggesting for the most part that don't use Buffer or Hootsuite as much as possible, because even though it's easier, it doesn't give the same return on investment. But anyway, look for ways to automate. A lot of clients are into different apps. There's always a new app. There's Kajabi, there's Kartra, now there's Go High Level. Every 6 months to a year, there's going to be a new app. It's not going to change. There's always a new app to make things automated. We have artificial intelligence. It's not going away. It's going to get more and more used. You're going to see more and more ways to use it. You guys should all be on ChatGPT. You should be using the free version daily just to get used to it, learning how to write the right prompts to bring back the right thing you want. A lot of this presentation was actually generated in ChatGPT. I'm not shy to say it. I could have wrote this myself, taken me a couple hours, but a lot of the bullet points, I just pulled out ChatGPT. Took me 15 minutes to like read after the prompt came back to make sure they're accurate, make a few changes, tweak here or there. So make sure it fits. But 90% of what I got back from ChatGPT by just saying, hey, can you help me make a presentation for a Filipino virtual assistants working for American small business clients on how to have narratives in their client's business. And it gave me all these bullet points I'm using tonight, right? So automation's here. You got to get used to it. All right, engage with the audience. Make sure you respond to comments, messages, and feedback. Every time someone comments, messages, or gives feedback and we don't follow up, it's a lost opportunity. Those hot moments don't happen very often. So a lot of times a client will hire a virtual assistant to make sure we reply to every comment, like, share, message, feedback. And that's a good thing, right? So be ready to do that. Also encourage user-generated content to expand the narratives, right? So get feedback, do surveys, do polls, get things people having to do something more than just hit the like button. there's a big drop off. People will like it quickly, they'll love it, they'll heart it, but actually having to do something more takes more time and they won't do it as much, but you'll still get some people to do it. And of course, you want to look at the analytics, right? So every social media app, I'll talk about this more in a minute, has built-in analytics, right? So Facebook Insights, IG Insights, TikTok has analytics, YouTube has analytics. So if you're using your clients' Facebook pages, you should be able to look at the tools that are there to see what's working, which videos are getting the most watches, um, who's their target market, does it match people actually watching their videos? I'm not going to go into it now, but if you look at a Facebook business page, you can see geographically where the viewers are coming from. Are they coming from the US, from the Philippines, wherever? You can see what their gender is. You can see what their average age is, which age bracket. Are they Gen X? Are they Gen Z? Are they millennial? You can see all that for free when you have Facebook Insights or IG Insights or whatever. Anyway, I want to show you real quick reel from Marina, another one of my top clients, a friend of mine who I love working with. She talks about the 3-3-3 method, which is how she teaches her team to do engagement on social media. 3 hearts, right? So if a client's hiring you to do social media for them and you're managing their IG, for example, and they're saying, find me more followers, this is Marina's secret. And Marina's got like 5,000 subscribers to her YouTube channel, as many on her IG and her Facebook. She's really, really popular and really effective at coaching people like this. 3 hearts, right? So find someone's page who you think could benefit working with your client. They could be an influencer, they could be somebody the same business, they could be someone who has a collaborative business, but somebody whose attention you want to get. 3 hearts, right? So 3 hearts,
3 comments, and 3 story.
3 hearts, 3 hearts, 3 comments, 3 story replies. If you do that, you'll get someone's attention. And the question is, what do they do with it? If you're doing lead generation for a client and your client says, go out there and find people you think would be good clients for me, and your client is like Marina, you're a business coach for other women business owners, and you're trying to get their attention to sign up for your course. So you're going to go out there and find female business owners in IG that have a business in healthcare, like skincare, or like they sell a supplement or something. You're going to do 3 hearts, comment on their post, and then also share their story or give feedback on the story. So hearts, comments, stories. 3 times. Now, Marina says do it for 3 times a day for 3 days. I recommend doing it one of each day is enough. But either way you do it, you want to like see if you can get their attention. And if you can't, then you move on, right? So a secret of lead generation is like timing is everything. And you have to ask somebody for a sale 10 times before they're going to say yes on the average. And you're never going to know when that right time is. So you keep asking on a regular basis. You come back once a month, once a quarter, whatever it is, and you ask them, hey, do you want to do business together? And so Marina's idea is that you do that 3-3-3, and then you move on. And if it generates business for you, great. If not, you move on to the next person. Maybe you save this person and come back to them 3 months down the road. My point is, this is how you're starting to help with the narrative to be able to help the client engage their audience. That's the 3-3-3 method. All right, so last section, let's talk about metrics, right? So I'm a data guy. I mentioned before, I have a training company. We do analytics training. I'm all about KPIs, key performance indicators for storytelling, like likes and shares and website traffic. I always think the coolest metric on social media is how many Facebook friends you have. So it tells a lot about you. Because if you got 5,000 Facebook friends, then you're probably very extroverted. You're probably very open to making new friends easily. And you don't mind having strangers see your life. If you have 500 Facebook friends, you're probably introverted. Most of them probably are friends or people that you've actually met in person. Um, and you don't like having a lot of strangers in your business. And then if your friend list is private, that means you just are really introverted and you don't really want to interact with people on social media, but you kind of feel like you have to. So you keep it at a minimum. That'll tell a lot about you, because if I'm trying to sell to somebody and I'm selling something that I think that's going to appeal more to somebody who's extroverted, then I'm going to look for people to have 5,000 friends. If I'm looking for somebody who's going to be good on camera, doing talks or understanding their business, and the client says, hey, I want to be on YouTube and I want to like have TikTok, and I go and look at their Facebook page and they got 300 friends. going to be a struggle. If they've only got 300 friends in their Facebook, they're pretty private. How are they going to be out there convincingly, happily, feeling fun if they're going to be on camera every day all across social media? So that's kind of thing I think about. Look at the KPIs. Track growth over time, right? So it used to be like, how many followers could I add? But now it's more about how many quality followers. I really wish Facebook would come up with a metric. They have it. They just don't share it with us. The metric is like, who's followed you recently? Like LinkedIn has this, and it's awesome. LinkedIn tells you who looked at your profile. LinkedIn tells you the most important piece that you want to know is, are your potential clients looking at things when you send them a DM? Do they take time to open the DM? You can see if it was read. And then if they open the DM, do they reply to it? Because you'll see the little icon, if their face pops up that they read it. And then if they reply to it, they could even do an emoji or whatever, but at least you engage with them. But if they look at your profile, they took the time to leave the DM to open your profile and look at it. That means they're interested. There's something about what you said in that DM, they want to know more. If Facebook did this and IG did this, it would be a game changer, but they don't. So we don't know exactly what it means when somebody just likes our stuff. We don't know how serious they are, or they're just kind of speed scrolling and liking everything. But we have to see the patterns between, over time, we can figure that out. If the same kind of person is constantly coming to your page and liking your stuff, but never commenting, never sending the DM, then they're probably not serious. But if they drop a comment, they're serious, because 90% of the things we post don't ever get any comments. We get plenty of hearts and likes because it's easy, but people taking the time to write a comment, even if it's a simple comment like yay or awesome or cool, you got their attention, right? So take note of that. Translate these metrics into actionable insights for your clients. Use feedback to refine narratives, right? So every narrative is going to evolve. You're never going to have the perfect narrative that lasts forever. Everything ages quickly. 6 months. What was hot 6 months ago isn't going to be hot 6 months from now. Think about music. Music is constantly flowing. The number one song now will not be the number one song 3 months from now, and was not even a song out in the list 3 months ago, right? So trying to make sure your narratives are always being enhanced. Keep the stories fresh, incorporate new trends. Pay attention to what's happening, right? So if you consume a lot of things, think about what your clients are consuming. Where are they spending their time? What are they watching? What are they consuming? And see if you can figure out the patterns what's trending there. Like, for example, when you see a new trend on Facebook, and this is kind of an old trend, but like, remember the ice bucket challenge, like ice bucket challenge, right? So people are jumping on that early, influence a lot of people to do it as well. And so what's the next thing? What's the next ice bucket challenge? If you can see it and you can get that information to your client, they can do something to be at the front of a trend, that's what you want to do. And then conduct regular reviews to ensure alignment with client goals, right? Have a weekly or a monthly check-in with your client to look at the numbers. If they give you a general goal when you start, I want to add 1,000 followers. I want to add 500 people to my Facebook group. I want to be able to get my YouTube views up to a couple hundred views per video. Then make sure that you're showing them the success. Like, have a scheduled meeting and say, hey, look what we did, celebrate our victory. Let's, like, we got over 1,000 new followers. Again, the more that you are able to do that as a virtual assistant, the more successful you will be. Clients are busy. Clients are self-focused. Clients have a lot going on, and they hire you to help them get better at running their business. So they're going to be open to your suggestions. I know in general, Filipinos for culturally can be a little shy, but like I said, they're hiring you because they don't know it themselves. Most American business owners that will hire a Filipino virtual assistant are doing it because they are recognizing they have a weakness, which is social media, and they're hiring someone they perceive to be an expert. So don't forget that lesson. Next thing real quick is overcoming challenges, addressing consistency in storytelling, maintaining clear guidelines, handle negative feedback. So be adaptive. I mean, this is the kind of stuff where you have to kind of see, again, what's going on, develop a style, trial and error, keep trying, don't give up. It's not hard, but it's not easy. If it's easy, everyone would do it. And it's not hard because this is such a much better life being a virtual assistant than having to work at Jollibee, right? So take that balance of what we're looking for. So last thing I'll show you is, like, as you're doing an example of measuring success and adapting. So I do playlists, right, to be able to divide up content. And I recorded a series of ones called Navigating the VA Landscape. And the idea here was that there's a lot of people that are struggling with navigating the new VA landscape. There's so many more VAs. Clients are demanding more stuff. It's hyper competitive. How do I stand out? And I partnered with a VA agency owner who used to be one of my VAs. Like I hired her as my executive assistant like 4 years ago. Shay went from being my assistant to now running her own VA agency. And we recorded a series of videos about navigating the VA landscape. Short, simple stories. But again, talking about how things change. We're recognizing change and we're going to lean into it and make sure that we're on the cutting edge to measure our successes and adapt to overcome challenges. So that's the core of my talk, right? So again, I want you to think about storytelling and narratives, how you help a client do more of that. Anyone can post things on social media. Anyone can design content and get it out there. But what makes it appealing, what makes it compelling, is when it feels like it's part of a narrative that you're learning about somebody's story. You're understanding their hero's journey, their progression from where they started to where they're at to where they're going. And you want them to be successful. You like them and you trust them and you want to work with them. That's what successful brands do. The most successful brands in the world don't spend a lot of money on marketing, even though they spend things on being creative. Like Nike, everyone knows Nike does. Nobody has to be taught what Nike does. Just do it. Action. Get out there. Do something. Like take charge, right? They spend marketing to stay relevant, so you don't all of a sudden forget about them. But we all know what they do. We all know what Disney does. Disney's all about family fun. We all know what SM stands for. SM's all about, the biggest department stores in the Philippines. You can buy everything you want. SM has it all, right? In the jingle. So we're trying to figure out what those messages are for our client. How do we get them to have a simple narrative, a simple message that we can then just keep repeating? We can evolve it over time, but repetitively in a way that people start resonating. So when it is the right time, when they are ready to buy, we're top of mind. That's why we do narratives. So last thing real quick, if you have not already done so, you can apply for a job with Sonic VA. We do currently have a couple freelance gigs that we're looking for VAs for. So submit your resume to danmayer@sonicva.com. Also in that email, including social media links. And then if you really are serious and you want to get the job, I ask you submit a 1-minute video of who you are and why you want to be with Sonic VA. Now, you may not get a job with us right away, but you will eventually. I think both VAs that are on the call today, Medan and Alika, have seen, they've gotten projects, it comes and goes, but it's consistent. I keep giving them more work because they're good at what they do. And they started the same way you're starting. They started with a resume. They started with sending me information about them. They had to record a video because they understand that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. And I'm a good storyteller, so they stick around. I have VAs that stick with me a long time that come and go, but always come back because I care and because I can help people figure out what their story is and get them better at it so they can help their clients. So in summary, business narratives are more than just stories. They are lifeblood of a brand's connection with its audience, right? As VAs, we need to play a pivotal role in helping clients craft authentic narratives that resonate with target market. Most VAs will never think about this. They're all about, give me some tasks, let me get them done as quickly as I can, move on to the next thing. Those VAs will find employment, but never find joy. The ones that find joy, the VAs that are living those six-figure dreams, the ones you hear about on Facebook. Oh, I'm a VA and I have a six-figure salary and I'm going to the beach all the time. I'm in Singapore. They're not the ones that are just doing the basic rudimentary, like posting robotically on social media. They're the ones that actually can help their clients figure out how to build narratives. I guarantee you. The best names in virtual assisting in the Philippines that talk about themselves all the time. They're good at storytelling because they're talking about themselves so much that now they're famous and they know you. And you know them. By mastering the art of storytelling, you can help clients stand out in a crowded market. That's the goal, right? The market's only going to get more and more crowded. We create so much social media content and it's not slowing down. And now we have AI doing it. So we're creating all this stuff and the noise is so strong. It's so hard to break through. The only way you're going to break through is you find the right VA to help you figure out how to get your voice straight, how to clear up what your ideas are, and get them out there consistently to your target market. That's what a good VA should be about. you go. I hope it helped. That's my insight into how a virtual assistant like yourself can help a small business owner by being more narrative driven, by thinking more about stories and looking at the data to kind of back into the story. So it's one thing to put a bunch of posts out with data points. What's more important is to put a series of posts out that tell one story, that have a start, a middle, a finish, that follow the hero's journey. And your client is the hero of their story. And so you want to use data to both validate what's working, adjust and adapt to what's not working, as well as share some of the data. How much growth have you had? How much impact have you had? How many people have you served? How long have you been in business? So you can weave data into the story as well as use data to manage the story. So I hope that helped. Again, thank you so much for being with us. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to our channel. If you have, thank you very much. And I'll be back again soon with more ideas on how you can navigate the VA landscape. Take care and have a great day.